What's up, guys? Now that Black Ops 2 is officially done, we're in Ghosts. You know, I started to realize it's gonna be a whole nother year before we see a new zombies map. So I decided to go through, and I went and looked through every single zombies map from World at War to today, and I put together a list of the top 5 zombies maps of all time. And it was really tough. I had to spend a lot of time to do this. This whole list is based primarily on my opinion, but I did base it off a few things. One is how fun the map was to play, because if the map wasn't fun, you weren't going to play it, so that's the first and probably most important factor. And 2 is how creative the map was made, so what functions or new things were brought into the map that made it even more fun and cool to play. So, for instance, one thing I didn't do was, like, I'm not gonna have Nocturne Toten #1 on the list because it was the map that started it all. Because the way I thought about it was, if all these maps came out on the same day, which 5 would be the most fun, the best maps? Because really, it's kind of useless if you say that the first map is the best, because really it's not, it's just the first one. Yeah, it started it all, but I don't see how that makes it the best map. So with that being said, let's jump into the list, starting with number 5. At number 5, from Black Ops 2, we have Die Rise. Die Rise is the remaining standing portions of 2 Japanese towers after the zombie apocalypse. This creates a really crazy vertigo map area which was much different from every other map, because every other map is on like a flat, more playing field. Nothing is like 80 stories up on a skyscraper, so this made it a very, very fun, unique map. Lots of things are good about this map, and there are quite a few things that just aren't so good about this map. The good things are the playability. This map is super fun to play. It's something really unique and different from everything else. They really made this map look amazing. I mean, they really made it look good. I mean, it looks really realistic, as well as it flows quite well, quite as much as you'd expect it to from 2 half-destroyed falling buildings. So the layout itself was pretty good. Everything looked good. A negative on the layout was the fact that movement around the map was a little bit slow, because things took a while to move around because of the elevators and you having to wait for the elevators, which took quite a long time to come down, and it was completely impractical to have to wait for them mid-round. But the elevators were also cool because that's how the perks worked, and they weren't always in the same spot, which added challenge to the game, and I always like new challenges because it keeps you playing more and more. Another cool thing about this map was just like how big it was, and what's cool is because instead of, like I said earlier, stretching out like landscape wise, it's up and down. So although it doesn't seem that big, it actually is quite a big map, and there's a lot of places to go. You can really get lost in this map because of the whole up and down feel. But that's pretty cool. No other zombies map does this. And as well, you have the Trample Steam buildable and the Sliquifier Wonder Weapon, both amazing add-ons to this map. The Sliquifier I could not see in any other map, but the way it works is just perfect for this map. And the Trample Steam as well is perfect for helping you get around to hard to reach spots, and is a necessity for this map. The only real negative here is the Who's Who perk, because the Who's Who perk is pretty useless, and it was an attempt to help you revive yourself on this map, because it is very difficult to revive each other on this map. It's almost impossible, actually. So Who's Who was an attempt to let you be able to revive yourself. However, it's extremely useless, because on a high round with Who's Who, you're never going to be able to get back and revive yourself, because A, when you spawn, the zombies go for you when you're trying to revive yourself, so that doesn't work. And B, it doesn't work because you have an M1911, so how on earth are you possibly gonna fend off zombies while trying to revive yourself with an M1911? So that doesn't exactly work. It is also bad because while you're on different areas of the maps, the zombies aren't going to start going for your teammates. Since it's different up and down areas, they're just going to swarm your dead body, meaning as soon as your who's who comes in, they're going to swarm that. So other than that, this map is really fun, and that's why it got its number 5 spot on this list. Moving on to number 4, we have straight from World at War, Shi No Numa. Now, Shi No Numa was a map that was based in a Japanese swamp area. It's like a military bunker that's getting invaded by zombies. And for some of you who are like, what's he doing? Like, Shi No Numa, really? The reason I put Shi No Numa on the list is because even when you look at the layout when you're loading the map, at least from Black Ops, when you're loading the map, you just see right away there are 4 different sections split off from the main area. And what I really like about this map is really meant for you and a few friends to go in there, and you have your own separate train spots. It was really the only map that specifically has 4 different areas for you to run train. And so, if you had 4 people, you decide where you want to go, and you could do your own thing. And it's really, even today, it's still a fun map, even though it's really simple compared to a lot of the newer maps. Sometimes simple is really nice, and it's just a fun blast from the past. If you're going to be playing one of the older maps, this is definitely one of them that you're going to want to try out, because it's hard to beat. It's a really fun classic map, and even though it's classic, it's still a different experience every time, because you go for the perks in the back room and they always switch. It's always random, so every playthrough is not the same as the last, even despite how simple the map is. So I think that's really cool. The biggest blow to this map is that there's no pack-a-punch, and that's, if I asked 100 people why they wouldn't like the map, I guarantee you, I bet at least 99 would say, well, there's no pack-a-punch on that map. And the other one, who knows, maybe they just don't like the world, I don't know, they don't like zombies. But so that's really a crucial blow. The reason this comes in number 4 is really because there's not really any negatives about it, other than that the map itself is really stable, it's clean, it's fun, you can get to high rounds, and it is challenging. Without that pack-a-punch, you have to survive off your base guns, and it just adds a little bit more excitement, because you don't exactly get set up like you do in other maps, and it's just really a fun map to play. So that's really all I have to say for that one. But yeah, that's number 4. Now let's move on to number 3. And at number 3, again from World at War, we have Riese. Riese was the last zombies map to come from World at War, and it was definitely the best from World at War. Now, this was the first time they ever introduced the pack-a-punch machine into zombies, which was amazing. It really gives Riese a competitive edge against the other World at War maps, simply because pack-a-punch is awesome. I mean, I can't say anything else. It gives you something else to do with your guns, and it makes it easier to achieve those higher rounds, because as your guns get weaker and weaker, you just plop them in the pack-a-punch machine, and boom, more ammo, more power, more awesome. Yeah. So that was really probably the biggest plus, along with the fact that even though this map has pack-a-punch and it is, more ahead of the game, it's also got the classic, simple gameplay to zombies that I really like. It's so original that it's awesome. There's you don't have to worry about all these extra things like boss zombies. Sure, you have dogs, but they're not hard, and that's just a good way to get your max ammo every couple rounds. There's no Easter egg you have to worry about. It's just literally if you want to go in and play some zombies and have a good time. I don't know, no matter what, this map will never become unfun to anyone. It's got a charm on it that is just so good. I mean, you can play this map so many different ways. You can, run your own separate trains with friends. You can stick together and camp in one of the various spots that you could go and camp. You could run a whole map train if you want, and you can do whatever you want. And this map really gets hectic, and it's great. It's just so classic and fun to play that it just had to get a number 3 spot here. There really aren't many negatives other than the fact that once you start getting into the higher rounds, it starts to become really repetitive. But that's kind of most other zombies maps as well. One thing I really did like about this map was the teleporters. I thought the teleporters were really cool because it was the first time that they ever really made something that got you from one spot to another right away in a zombies map. And I know I was saying I'm not judging it off like the first time you did something, but this map, the teleporters are just something that are unique from this map. Linking them up to the mainframe, and using it to get around the map. Either maybe you're getting swarmed or you need to revive someone. It makes the map that much better. So that's really it. That's what we got from Riese. Easily an instant classic, and it will always be loved by fans everywhere. It's just a great map overall. So let's move on now to number 2. Alright, moving on to number 2, we have from Black Ops 1 and my personal favorite map, Ascension. Ascension is hands down a fantastic teamwork map. This map was designed, I believe, solely to go in there with 3 to 4 players, and you really needed to have teamwork and collaboration to do well on this map. And the reason being is the monkey rounds that were put in. That's the main reason, at least. Because the monkey rounds take a whole team collaboration, because if you're not careful, you lose your perks, and if you do it right, you get a new free perk at the end. The monkey rounds were something that I think were really awesome. They're unique. No other map has anything like it. I mean, I really wish they would bring the monkeys back into another map. It's awesome. I mean, if you don't like the monkeys, that just means you didn't know how to deal with the monkeys. And going back to what I said about how you need to collaborate, that's what makes this map number 2. It is just, you need to have teamwork, because if you have everything in the balance on this map, you're gonna go far. But it also doesn't take much to just tip it over the edge and all chaos is just released. This map is relentless on you, and it makes it an amazing experience, because when things go to crap on a high round, it gets hectic really fast, and you're going to be running out of ammo just immediately as soon as things go wrong. Now, another thing I really like about this map is PhD Flopper. This is this is the best map to use PhD Flopper on, hands down. The original map that has it, best map to use it on. There are so many spots that have hills that are just big enough for you to drop down. Where I run train and on this map, PhD Flopper is a necessity. It saves me ammo. It's a huge part of my strategy. Without it, we'd be sunk. It's a great perk. It fits the map so well, and it's just fantastic. Now, what I also love about this map is just the size and how it's built. This map is so smartly built with the lander systems, and you have so many different spots that people can run trains, and it's meant to just work You have to work together as a team. You know, separate into your different trains and just work the zombies so that you have control over the map, and it's a great feeling. And even when things go wrong, it's just crazy, those hectic times that come afterwards when you're trying to revive somebody, or you need to go get a perk or get a new gun because it's out of ammo, or so, you know, whatever. It's great. This map is my favorite just for all those reasons right there. However, it's not the best map. There is one that is better, so let's get into it. Let's get down to the #1 best zombies map of all time. Here we go. At #1, from Black Ops 2, we have Mob of the Dead. Now, I spent some serious time thinking about this one, because originally I was going to put Ascension, you know, #1 at the top, my favorite map. But after, you know, doing a lot of thinking and really thinking about it, Mob of the Dead is the clear choice. This map is simply beautiful. I mean, the whole layout is amazing. The buildable system is fantastic. You know, the whole menu looks great. The story is amazingly integrated into the gameplay. I mean, the story itself isn't even, it's not like the other maps where it's like an Easter egg type deal. They integrate the story into the gameplay with the playing parts and, you know, getting to the bridge, and you feel the characters' pain as they're trying to escape this place, Alcatraz, with the zombie apocalypse, and they can't die. And, you know, speaking of they can't die, the afterlife system, genius. I mean, this is the Who's Who perk done right, because, you know, with a bigger map, you know, Treyarch started releasing bigger maps where it's harder for someone to come and revive you if you're down during a round, because you know, they're far away or there's a lot of zombies, and it's not going to happen. So the Afterlife gives you a second chance by allowing yourself to clear the way out and get yourself back up. Now, the difference between this and Who's Who is quite simple. Who's Who, you could get down and you couldn't clear anything out of the way. I mean, even if you were to revive yourself with Who's Who, you're gonna get downed again because all the zombies were right there swarming you, your downed body. And, you know, the M1911 that you spawn with is not gonna be able to clear anything out on a high round. Now, Afterlife is different because you could, you know, you were shocking the zombies and clearing them out of the way before you revived yourself, so that you had a better chance of being able to stay back up. And I thought this was a really, really well integrated idea. I also really loved the buildables, and specifically by the buildables I mean the acid gap machine, because the Blunder Gap, the wonder weapon, you know, it's the most dynamic wonder weapon in all of the zombies maps. It's really, really awesome because you have freedom to choose what you want to do with it. And, you know, it starts off as this really cool 4-barreled shotgun, and you're like, alright, this is pretty cool. And then, you know, you can pack a punch it and you get 2 shots, and, you know, that's pretty cool. And then you put it in this acid gap machine, and it's completely different. It's a completely new thing, you know. It's like the pack-a-punch crossbow from Black Ops, except much better and more ammo, and it's just wow. And it is, I think, the most creatively integrated wonder weapon of all time. It's just, you're not gonna beat it. It's how they work that is amazing. And, you know, you saw the electric cherry perk, which also went really well with the Blunder Gap, as since you were reloading the full clip every time, you got a big electric burst that shocks zombies. And then this map even just kept getting better after that. You had the Hell's Retriever Tomahawk, which was actually an idea I wanted to see integrated for a really long time. I wanted to see, like, somehow a tomahawk get integrated into zombies, and I couldn't have asked for a better way to do it. The Hell's Retriever is freaking awesome, and it's completely worth filling up those dogs' mouths with zombies as soon as you can in the game in order to get that thing, because it is just so helpful and so awesome how it works, and you know, you can upgrade that if you know how to do it right. And the other thing I really liked about this map is how they work the pack-a-punch. How you define the plane parts, and especially the first time you're playing this map, when you built that plane and you think you're escaping and you're like, holy crap, this is the coolest thing ever. And it's just so crazy when you fall down on the bridge and you're like, what just happened? Boom, pack-a-punch. I mean, it's such a cool way to do it. I mean, and it leads you up so well. It's just, it's so good. I can't describe it. They really did a nice job on this map. You know, the negative that you're gonna hear people complain about is the boss zombie Brutus, but really, Brutus isn't even that bad. Brutus, I think, is a good addition to the game. It switches things up. You know, the map would go so much smoother without it, which would be a bad thing because it would get boring. Brutus is a complete game changer, which makes the game more interesting. So, like, say you need the box, but he locked up the box, and then you have to spend extra points to unlock it, and then you don't have enough money to buy a box gun. You know, that's a dramatic change. Or you get down by him, and that's a dramatic change. But you know, he's really not that hard to kill, and really just makes things interesting in the game, and it, you know, makes you tense up and, you know, feel the map, and it's great. So that's the top 5 countdown. There you go. Please remember that these are my opinions, so I don't want to get a bunch of comments telling me that I'm stupid and Nocturne Totem should be #1 because it's the greatest map ever. I don't need that, okay? I don't care what you think. I have my list, and I base it off of, you know, not just my own opinion, but what is fun and what was creative and new and what was really cool. So that's why Mob of the Dead won this list, even though it's not my favorite map. It is my second favorite map, but it's just awesome. So if you like this video, please hit the like button. If you want to see more, please hit that subscribe button, because coming up soon we're going to have the top 5 worst zombies maps. So that should be really interesting, because I'm just going to be, you know, just destroying the good name of those zombies maps, because it'll be fun. And yeah, thanks for watching this video. I'll see you guys later.